Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with
Nathan Nerdarchist Ted.
And today we do an urban barbarian character build with Joego the Giant.
Jump down in the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter, get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with us.
Character build time, and this time we're going urban with the barbarian. Two things, two great flavors that don't really go great together.
It's like a bull in a china shop or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
The urban barbarian, huh?
Yeah, so Nerdarchy is doing a thing, right? Maybe you're connected to us on Twitter and the other social media and you see some stuff going around. So we've been working on a secret project that I think it's time for us to start talking about. We are going to be involved with a project called Save or Dice, right? It's going to be a collab game with Dawnforge Cast, Andrew Armstrong. We got WebDM, both Jonathan Pruitt and Jim Davies. We got Taking 20 with Cody. We're going to be playing. This game on Fantasy Grounds. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be playing in the game as well. I think we've got a rogue. I think we've got a bard. We've got a druid, a lizard folk druid, and I'm going to be playing Joego, the urban barbarian, right? So I took some things that kind of don't go well together and decided to mix them up a little bit, right? So my character for this game is Joego the Giant. He's an Urchin, he's a Goliath, and he's a Barbarian. He's 6th level, and we decided that we were going to play this urban campaign, and I was like, dude, I freaking hate Goliath. I hate Goliath story-wise, but I love them mechanically. I'm like, can I be like Giant Can or a half ogre?
Just
Yeah,
use the Goliath stats.
yeah. And Jim Davies, being a super cool DM, is like, sure, you can do that. You know, so I'm like, my idea for the concept for the character is he was actually raised. Well, he wasn't raised. That's actually the part of the problem. He grew up as a feral child on the streets of.
So pardon me, I had to write it down. It is the great city of Aracala Palatine.
Yeah, you know, so the city is broken up into all of these different wards, and it's kind of an unofficial magocracy. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a wizard as a patron, and one of the central themes around the game for our characters is actually like an orphanage. So like my idea for my character is he was constantly being taken to the orphanage, and then he would escape, and he's kind of goes around to, to all the different walks of life. And I figure he's probably, of all the characters, he's most likely to be connected with all the other player characters fairly easy because he's always running off. And my idea for him, he's very food driven. I kind of model him after my dog a little bit. He eats until there's no food left, or he hoards it. And if he ends up in a tavern with the other characters, and he sees there's food in our place, he's like, "You going to eat that?" And he always wants to take it with him. But at the same time, he's always if you pay attention, you can find him slipping food to people that don't have it. So he's very focused around food all the time and survival. Intelligence is his dump stat. And we had Olga is this awesome artist that's doing character portraits for us, and she actually drew the characters to look like us a little bit.
Nice.
And so she based them off of us. So my half ogre has spectacles, so I'm taking spectacles as a trinket, and the idea is he wears them because he thinks they make him smarter.
So they don't actually help in any way. They're just
yeah. But he's still a barbarian. I went Path of the Totem, obviously, and I'm not. The DM is what kind, or not the DM, but the artist is like, what kind of gear do you have? And I'm like, well, think hobo or homeless person. when you're drawing him.
So he's got the rucksack stuffed with anything and everything he can get his hands on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Half a wheel of cheese left over
moldy.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's about it. So I took Tavern Brawler. I'm literally just going to be punching things for a die for and wrestling.
Wow.
Great, that's awesome.
So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't do too many voices, but I'm going to try and do a voice. I'm trying to work on his voice. I figure I have to talk real deep and kind of slow. Joego the Giant. Do you want to be friends? So So I've been practicing a little bit. I'm going to work on it. I'm not really great at voices.
So do we have a date for when this game is gonna go? Where's it gonna live?
August 2nd, Saver Dice Twitch channel. Then it will be live on the Saver Dice YouTube channel. It's a collab for all of us. And, we're looking at the first season is like 12 episodes.
Nice.
And like I said, it's going to be a ton of fun. This is going to be a fun character to play. I'm like, well, what do I want to play? What I haven't played before? I haven't played a Barbarian yet. I want to check out the Goliath. And, my 6th level ability, I didn't go with strength on strength ability. I decided to do something a little different. I went with the aspect of the wolf.
Nice. Oh, nice.
So it means he can track and track and stealth check at regular movement instead of having to, which dovetails nicely to the Urchin background.
Right.
One is he's already moving through the city fast,
yeah.
And then the other thing is he gets stealth from being a urchin. He gets disguise kit, which I'm going to keep because I figure like one of the things he learned really early, and it was a combination of one for like his safety and protection, and the other was for because he got made fun of and he's very self-conscious about his size. So his main thing is always trying to make himself look smaller. It wasn't a problem when he was a kid because he was running with kids that are like twice his age, 3 times his age, and he was the same size as them, but he was a toddler. And, he's like 2-3 years old running the streets, but he's as big as a human 9-year-old or 8-year-old.
And now it's obvious.
Now it's obvious.
Straight.
Now it's obvious because he's like 7.5 foot tall.
Well, a little bit of crouching and a nice cloak and.
Well, and that's it too. And I also kind of like portray him as like being malnutritioned, through most of his life. Even more so because he would like he'd always give away stuff, And he's a big guy, requires a lot of food. So I kind of like when I described him as like tall and lanky and all elbows and knees. I remember I used to take karate in my early 20s, and there was this kid who was just like that. Like he was really like super tall, like 7 foot, but he was kind of thin. He wasn't broad at all. So like when he would hit you, it was still a lot because there was just so much bone mass, and that's kind of like how I envisioned this character.
Yeah, I went to college with a guy who was like 6'9", but beanpole.
Yeah. So this guy and Joego isn't really beanpole. It's like it's very much like that medium build, but a medium build for someone who's like over all pushing 7 foot is still pretty freaking big.
Yes.
They're palming basketballs like is like no like they're probably wrapping their fingers around the thing.
Yep.
So
what did you wind up doing, like stat placement? Like I know you said, intelligence was his dump stat. I imagined you went high strength and high con. But if you're looking to do stealth, what did you wind up,
Okay, so the final stats were 18 strength, a 14 dex, 14 con, 8 intelligence, with a 12 wisdom and 10 charisma.
Okay. Now, with you being so giving, did you consider like the 10-12 split of, did you want to go the higher charisma to actually have more of a connection to the community?
I did consider it, and it was a tough decision because I feel like this character is probably also really wary, and that I think that's ultimately what led me to go with the higher wisdom.
Okay, so
that's probably off-putting as well, not being openly trusting and all.
Yeah, and really like that part of him that's really compassionate is more towards people that are established friends or children. He just has a soft spot for children, which is kind of weird because that's how like a lot of the characters kind of like have gravitated towards this orphanage in the game. So I imagine there's going to be shenanigans based around that.
Kidnappings and stuff.
Yes. So he's, so I don't know how this is going to work, but I took like survival. So, I'll see how the DM lets me work that into the campaign.
Lots of dumpster diving.
Yeah. He's got perception. He's got stealth. Some things that aren't traditionally barbarian. He gets athletics from being a Goliath. Yeah, so I'm looking to have a lot of fun with this character and wrestling things.
It sounds like it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and you figure, it's basically, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing much damage, but I'm going to go with that grappler build. I'm going to constantly be setting up the rogue and giving the rest of the players advantage. So it should be a lot of fun. So you guys can check that out. August 2nd is our very first game that we've got planned. Save or Dice. Follow us on Twitter, and we're constantly putting information over there. So you're gonna be able to hone in on there. Are you guys gonna watch this game? Are you interested? Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out over at nerdarchy.com.
Or you can follow us on Instagram.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.